So I have got some questions about your two chapters, and I would like to start with the Agile learnership one, the first one. So
Yeah.
I'm really curious to learn about it more because I think it's a concept that helps the habits of mind educators to dig deeper and to help their students become to cultivate those habits of mind. It's, as you use the words, not only develop those habits of mind. So what do you mean by agile learnership? Who is an agile learner for you?
So an agile learner, I define an agile learner as someone who not only understands they're capable of growth, but also knows how to go about achieving that growth. And to sort of unpack that a little bit, my work with habits of mind started 20 odd years ago in my classroom. And I worked in my classroom, then I worked in schools around Victoria where I live, and then nationally and internationally. And what we found was that the habits of mind are valuable. There's no two ways about that. But in a lot of schools, we didn't get the sort of traction we wanted. They didn't have quite the impact we wanted them to have. And once we played with that idea for a while and asked, why do some schools get such great impact and other schools don't? And two things were going on. One, to have an impact with the habits of mind, we needed to start from a foundation of a growth mindset. That the schools that really succeeded with habits of mind, that saw some real changes, not just in the language that was being used, but in student learning outcomes, founded it on this basis of Carol Dweck's work of a growth mindset, understanding that these habits of mind weren't just something you need to use because we all use them, but they were something you needed to improve, to develop, to extend, to build, to recognize that, what got you here won't get you here. The way you thought flexibly to get you to this level needs to improve to get you to this level. So this understanding that you could change your mindsets, develop them, extend them, and that important shift from using them to improving them was a foundational piece. But the other part that sort of wove into that was the idea that what were you using the habits of mind for? All right, we can use the habits of mind to do what we always do, or we can apply them beyond our current best, stretching ourselves into our learning zone to grow. And that's the process. Anders Ericsson, the world's expertise expert, talks about the process of growth. And when we brought that idea of Carol Dweck's work, the understanding you're capable of growth, Ericsson's work, which is the process you go through to achieve growth, and Art and Benner's work, I'll use first names, Art and Benner's work around, well, these are the behaviors you apply and develop to achieve the growth. We sort of got that picture of someone who, as I said, not only understands they're capable of growth, which is the mindset part, but also understands the process and the behaviors that will actually let them achieve that growth. And that was the focus of my book. Here we go, got one here, one with the Agile Learner. So when I put that book together 5 or 6 years ago now, that was the idea behind it, that the schools that were really seeing success were the ones that weren't just taking habits of mind of their own, but were founding it on that basis of a growth mindset and applying them through the process of stretch and challenge to achieve growth.
I think this is amazing how you combine those two big and really important ideas together: growth mindset and habits of mind, and how you define with the agile learner. And you are stating in your chapter that it's not enough to simply just develop the habits of mind. We need to cultivate and see that it's a growing journey. And as you described, the habits of mind help us with the behaviors part, because most of the time we are maybe we are dealing with the big ideas, but when it comes to how can we put this into behaviors, I think in that sense, habits of mind give us a good direction and a kind of practical tool.